Hello, everybody. So, I can tell you off the back of right now why there's a lot of talk about conscription coming back to European countries. And I suppose we may as well get to it. We should talk about what is all this fear of warmongering going on in Europe. It's because in America, midterms are coming up, and Donald Trump somehow, and I really want to know how he thinks he can even put in for a third term, he is going to fight tooth and nail to actually try and get a third term. But in order to do that, through my understanding, Donald Trump has had to put an excessive amount of resources and money into the US military in their dealings with the war between Russia and the Ukraine. And one of the things that Trump wanted as a sticking point in his bid to become president again was to reduce the cost of living in the United States, where in reality the cost of living has gone up much higher than people anticipated. So what's happened is that Donald Trump is trying to exhaust budgeting for the U.S. military, and they're gonna try and disperse it back into local and county economies. That's my understanding of it. So essentially, this boils down to America wants to pull out as far away as possible between Russia and the Ukraine, and instead let the rest of NATO and Europe deal with the conflict. Hence why there's been growing cause for concern about conscription. And this started in Germany, by the way, because the Russians were starting to launch drones to hover around Polish airspace. And because Germany is next door neighbours to Poland, they're going to be almost instinctively thinking, hang on a second, are they trying to look towards us next? Which, of course, raises a lot of cause for concern. And that's why you hear every so often about calls about, are we really heading for war? But here's the problem I have in terms of conscription. And it's the same thing that if the question gets raised here in Britain, well, let me put it to you like this, if the question of conscription ever gets mentioned. The British Army wouldn't even take me, somebody who applied off his own back to be a part of it. How on earth are you going to get people who have nothing they want to do with this, whilst you can't even accept people who wanted to be a part of the British Army? Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot to this, so that's where I'm going to start. How are you going to get people on the side?